Lovely sunny spring morning, and we have some new additions to our livestock. And we have here 14 quail chicks which we hatched a month ago, and they're now big enough to come out here from the brooder unit that we've got back home, but to come out here into the quail house on the allotment. What we don't know at the moment is how many males and how many females there are, because it's still going to be another month or so before they're fully mature and grow their adult feathers. And once they've done that, we'll know whether they're boys or girls. So far we've had about 3 generations of quail chicks hatched here before we got the eggs that we hatched last month, and the eggs we got last month came from a completely different source, so that we can in effect widen the gene pool, because I was getting a bit concerned that they were being a little bit too interbred. These 2 goat kids were born on the 2nd of April, that's their mum Georgina there, and we are keeping both of these. The white one is a male and the black one is a female, so they're called Snow and Coal for reasonably obvious reasons. Now, our original plan was not to keep Snow, but the bad news from the past month is that Spotless, our beautiful billy goat, died suddenly. So we needed a replacement, and he's actually, Spotless is the father of these 2. So we've decided to keep Snow and his sister Coal to add to the goat herd that we've got here. Now, hiding down here is another billy goat. This is a billy goat that was born to Spot, who is one of our nannies, and he was born on the 30th of April, so he's 5 days old. And this is Spot, who is the mother. She was one of the kids born last year, so this is our first time of having babies. She had 2 billy kids. Sadly, the second one was not very well, very weak, and we've taken him home and we have been bottle feeding him. Pinky here hasn't been too well recently. She was losing a lot of weight, and we had the vet out to her a couple of months ago, and he said she's not pregnant, but she did seem to be losing quite a bit of weight, so we've been trying to give her extra feed to get her fattened up again. And the thing is, Pinky is our milking goat, and we felt that it was quite good for her not to have got pregnant this year, because if she was going to be milking, then that would take away an awful lot of our energy. Last week we had the vets out to check her out because she started contractions, and it turns out she was pregnant after all. She had 1 baby, which was stillborn, and she's not really producing much milk, which I think again is quite useful, because that means that she can put more of her energy into getting better. This is the spare room at home, and we tend to use this room for putting our incubators in. We've got one incubator here at the moment where we've just taken the eggs out of the cradle. The cradle turns the eggs whilst they're being incubated, but this is day 19 for these eggs and they're due to hatch in 2 days' time, so we've taken them out of the cradle and put them back into the incubator, and hopefully in a couple of days' time we'll have chicks hatching here. This is another incubator we've got. It's got duck eggs in, and the duck eggs have about 2 weeks to go before they're ready for hatching. But this is actually in my office at home. It's actually our second spare room, so it's my office, and we have in here the duck eggs. The eggs that we had in the incubator didn't really have a good hatch rate. Only 2 of them hatched. So one of them is that little golden chick there. So these other chicks we have bought, and we bought 5 of them, and just to make sure that these 2 little ones had company. And as you can see, they are growing quite rapidly. In a couple of weeks they'll be 4 or 5 times the size they are now. So we've got them in this brooder box, and that is the heater. It will keep them warm for the next couple of weeks, and then they'll go out into a small enclosure in our back garden for a couple of weeks, and then after that they'll go over to the Whinnies and join the other hens. The Whinnies Community Garden had a bit of a competition a few days ago to get people to come up with suggestions for naming the 2 of the 2 kids that were born most recently, and my suggestion of Goatee McGoatface was rejected, but we decided that Whinnie and Sunny were the 2 names we were going to go with. And this is Whinnie here. He's the one who was very weak when he was born, so we've spent the last 2.5 weeks bottle feeding him, including at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's got quite an appetite at the moment, but the problem is we're still finding it difficult to get him to stand up and use his legs. Like I say, he does have quite an appetite. So in terms of the animals down at the Whinnies Community Garden, that's it. Hopefully in the near future we'll have more chicks and ducklings, but we're still waiting for the ducklings to hatch. You liking that? Oh, thank you very much. That's all over my trousers.